usual.
What's up, family?
Hey,
What's
people.
happening? Listen, we're popping up real quick, real quick. We're popping up real quick,
Real quick,
real
real quick,
quick.
real quick.
Just to say that
Hey.
more shows for.
Coming your. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Finish.
was going to say coming your way, but
more
sorry. You
more
can.
shows coming your way. Listen, we are starting back the Have a Conversation After Dark series. I guess you could call it season 2, if you will, is coming real soon within the next, let's call it 2 weeks, just to make
Mhm.
sure. Elizan, hello,
Hi,
Elizan.
Ellison.
Blessings on you, Elizan. Blessings. Blessings on you.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for being here. Listen, so we're coming back. And here's what we want from you. We want you to make sure that you are uh, following us on YouTube if you're not. And if you're on Facebook, that's fine. Follow us on Facebook. Uh, Elizan said, awesome. Thank you. We're excited too. We're glad to be coming back with that. So, and here's the thing, we want you to follow us. We want you to share this with some folks. And then here's the other thing we want you to do, we want you to send us some show ideas,
Yeah.
topics.
Yeah. Send us some topics for the show. That would be great.
Send us some topics. So for anybody who may be watching this now or watching it later and they're not familiar with what this is, go and watch other episodes. You can
Mhm.
catch them on YouTube. You can catch them on our Facebook uh, page as well.
Yeah.
The premise of Have a Conversation After Dark is that we get on and have conversations that maybe you might not typically hear people talk about.
You might think it's taboo.
You might think it's taboo, and some you can go back and check some of the shows. They were very interesting conversations,
Mhm.
and we want to continue because we're big on conversation.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that people are talking, and there's some things that, at least, listen, I'm gonna speak from my own experience, and you may be able to, this may resonate with you. There are some things that growing up in the faith-based community and in certain different communities, certain things weren't talked about.
Right. Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, and then when they were talked about, the information, it was kind of the blind leading the blind.
Mhm.
So we were kind of guessing around some of these things, and I feel like as couples, as married couples in particular, there are some things that we need to have conversations about. So we're coming back with Have a Conversation After Dark. If you're not familiar with what that looks like, can we show what it looks like?
I don't.
Do I have a graphic?
I don't think you did.
I don't even know if I do have a graphic. Let's see. I might not, but anyway, have a conversation after dark is yes, I do have one. Have a conversation after dark is coming back. We want you to give us some show ideas.
Mhm.
We want some topics that you feel like are topics that aren't normally talked about
Yeah.
that we should be talking about. You can email them to admin@denali.org because we want you to be a part of this show. We
Mhm.
want you to be a part of it.
Mhm.
And there's some other things that are coming back as well. Elizan said, yes, very deep conversations that are definitely needed for today's challenges.
Yep.
Absolutely. They
Absolutely.
were. There were some deep conversations. Even had us talking afterward when we got off
Yeah.
camera, like, man, we need to talk about that a little bit more. So this is it's serious. Dr. Parks is in the house. It's like BET After Dark. Yes, sir. Listen, we're talking about some, matter of fact, Doc, we got to get together because I'd like to have you on one of them at some point, either that or inside the relationship, which we're about to talk about next. But yeah, it's all about having conversations that typically may not, about topics that typically may not be talked about,
Yeah.
so that we can start talking about them. Stuff that think, I think we need to start saying.
And not just talking about them to be talking about them,
Right,
but
right.
like talking about them as it relates to your relationship. What can you pull out of it? What is the, just spark so that it can spark a conversation between you and your spouse. Like, babe, what do you really think about this
Yeah.
as it relates to us? Not just to be talking about it, because then that's just gossip at that point.
It right, and so that's a good point. It's not just to be talk. It's not talking about it just to be talking about it.
Right.
It's talking about it with a purpose. Camilla's in the house. What's up, Camilla?
What's up, Camilla?
So what we're talking about tonight, we're not diving into a topic tonight. We're just kind of popping on real quick to say that Have a Conversation After Dark is coming back.
Yeah.
We are coming back with season 2 of that, and we would love your input on some topics that we should discuss, because the whole premise is that we're discussing topics that typically we don't talk about, things that we feel like might be even a little bit taboo, but they're necessary.
Yeah.
Because you need to know that. So I'll give you one of the things we talked about. One of the things we talked about in season 1 was how do you come to your spouse and let them know that you might be attracted to somebody else, or someone else is kind of catching some feelings. Maybe you've been working with this, particular person for the last 8 months on a project, and just organically you're just feeling something, right?
To be clear, that was not our experience.
That was not our experience.
But
that's a lot of people's experience.
But it does happen.
That's a lot of people's experience, and folk don't know what to say. They don't know how to go about it. They don't know how to navigate it.
Sometimes they just, we're not supposed to be doing the show right now.
Right.
But sometimes they just don't do anything but hold that attraction, keep that attraction to themselves.
Right. Which is dangerous. Because it's easier to foster. It's easier to feed it when you haven't said anything. But anyway, we're not going to go into that. Dr. Park said maintaining positive sexual relationships is a good topic. Indeed.
Yep.
That's a good topic.
Yep.
Camilla said, okay, hey, please do. Shoot us a DM, shoot us an email.
Yes, do that.
Please shoot us a list.
Send us a list.
Shoot us a list. You can send it to admin@denali.org, or you can DM us either way. But yes,
and we'll talk about it.
We want a list. We want a list. So thank you for that. Park said Coke up. Yeah, that's so.
What?
Because Camilla said Coke instead of cook, but I knew what she was trying to say, or come up with a list. So come up with a list, but it says Coke. So Parks, yeah, we listen. We might have to talk about that, bro, because that's an issue that comes up often. So we might have to talk about that. Camilla says sex while having young kids. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. We had a conversation recently about that and some challenges that some folks are going through.
You know what? Someone said, I can't even remember what I was looking at. Hey, since it's taboo, I just thought of it. Someone made a post the other day saying, have you ever had sex while your kid was in the bed with you?
Oh, wow. Okay.
I just thought of that when I saw Camilla's thing.
So that could be a boundary discussion then.
A boundary discussion. While she was just saying sex when you have little kids.
Right.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. Sorry.
No, listen.
Go ahead.
That'll work. We can do that because there are folk that have small kids now, and that's a challenge. So, can you sneak one in while the baby sleep?
Right.
Next to you. Can you sneak one in? Is that okay? Is it not okay? Accountability in relationships. Okay.
I like it.
We can do that.
I like it.
Creating trusting relationships. Mm-hmm. So Parks, you giving me some good stuff, and let me since you giving me all this good stuff, let me show you what I want you to be a part of, because not only is Have a Conversation After Dark coming back, but we're also bringing back inside the relationship.
Yeah.
So inside the relationship, all things relationship. If you've been following us, we did 10 episodes or 10 of 11 or 11 live episodes. We're coming back with Inside the Relationship. Some of those topics, Parks, that you have given us are things that we would want to put in that show as well. So let's do that. I'm gonna keep these comments so that I can do that. So Elizanne said empty nester reset.
I like that.
Okay, empty nester.
Inside the relationship type.
That's an inside the relationship thing. But let me tell you something. Empty nester reset. I'm gonna give you a tip right now. Create experiences.
What do you mean?
Create a whole bunch of experiences. Do stuff together.
Before you're an empty nester?
No, if you're resetting as an empty nester, which is I'm assuming is what she's saying. If you're resetting as an empty nester, start doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Because here's and we weren't going to do this, but I'm going to do it. The issue sometimes is that we don't prepare for that. We haven't really been bonding up until the empty nester portion of our lives. So there's a piece where you got to learn folk all over again.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so do that. I think I skipped one. So Elizanne said, LOL, this is normal when you have children. I think she's talking about what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Right. Park said, sex while the kid is in the bed. Yep. Get in where you fit in. Hey, listen. Listen. No judgment.
None whatsoever.
No judgment. But yeah, let's talk about it. No judgment. Time out versus walking away.
Oh, wow.
Power and control. Man, Parks is hitting us tonight. Power and control. Oh. Okay. How much is too much to share about your sex life?
About your too much to share with whom, and about your previous sex life, or how much is too much to share
about your current sex life with your current partner?
How much is too much to share with someone else about your current sex life?
Either one.
Either one is
either one.
I like this.
Actually, that's a great question. How much to share about your sex life? Because here's the crazy thing, and we talk about this sometimes because of the space that we're in. There's a certain level of transparency and vulnerability that we have to exhibit in order to help couples. But then where's the line?
Yeah.
Where does it become, where does it move from edification to glorification? Because I'll give you an example. I was at a conference one time, and this guy got up and he was talking to singles, and he was the point he was making was, you got to be careful about how you live your life, and you got to be careful about the decisions you make because they'll come back to haunt you. But he spent a significant amount of time talking about how many girls he had. So I'm like, dude, is this edification or is this glorification?
Yeah,
like, where are we going with this?
Right.
Like that, I know where you're going with this, but everybody's not going to. Some people in the audience can be like, oh, okay, dude was a player. Okay, let me take notes. So dude had him in college and had him in this and had.
And
so
did that have anything to do with his point?
Does it help? Right. So to speak to that comment, how much should you be saying about your sex life that allows it to be edifying to the person who's trying to build intimacy, or then does it just become a sex novel
about yourself? Yeah.
Right. So that's a good one. I
like that.
Park said, I got a million of them. Kimberly, be careful who you share with. Everybody ain't a therapist. You got that right. You got that right. So on that note, let me shout out my guy, big bro. Dr. Terry Parks is a therapist. So if you're looking for a therapist, there's one right there. Parks said creating boundaries to protect your relationship. That's good as well. So yeah, listen, we may tag team some of these, put them some for our Saturday night show, which is have a conversation after dark, and then some for our Sunday show, which is Inside the Relationship. Both will be coming back in the next couple of weeks with new episodes. Levels of intimacy, that's a good one. We talk about that often as well. Yeah. So listen, we're going to get out of here. It was really quick. We just wanted to get on just to let you know we're coming back.
Season 2.
We're coming back with that. We're coming back with Inside the Relationship. We're coming back with the Relationship Trade Secrets podcast. My wife is coming back with some Hey Girlfriend stuff. Listen, so fall, we jumping back in with some more content. Man, blessings on you, bro. Thanks for coming through. So we out of here. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. Please, if you're not connected with us, make sure you're following us either on Facebook or on YouTube, preferably on YouTube, because we're trying to build the YouTube community. So if you go to youtube.com/Denali LLC, you can subscribe there and hit the bell so you know when we are going live or when we have dropped new content. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to enjoy the rest of our Saturday night. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your Saturday night as well. Good night, Elizanne.
Good night.
And listen, be on the lookout. New content is coming very, very soon.
Very soon.
All right. Yeah. So, and because I love the outro of this, I'm just going to play the outro that we would normally play for this because I love the track.
I love
I'm
it
tooting
too.
my own horn. Can I toot my own horn just for a second?
You can toot it.
I created the track, so I love it. So listen, adios, good night, blessings on you. Be on the lookout. Mark your calendars. We're coming. New content.
Good
Peace.
night, everyone. Have a good weekend.